All right, Shalom Akim, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to my apostles and my elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to you, Akim, out there pushing his word in true sincerity. All right, so, I'm out and about, and I put a little lesson together. I'm at a park. So I put a little lesson together, and I just wanted to go into the word Latinize, because you hear a lot of brothers all say that, our people have become Americanized and or Babylonianized, So I just want to go into that word, and the word was in the lessons kind of is inspired from the book of Maccabees, So I was reading the book of Maccabees, and the lesson's always been on my spirit. So through the spirit, I'm getting to it. I'm doing over the audio, but I'm gonna try to put the definitions, like that in the post production, and so Lord's will, this can be edifying to the body. All right, so let me go into the book of Maccabees. I have a couple of scriptures prepared, and I have a couple of definitions prepared. Basically proving to you that this is nothing but the modern Greco-Roman Empire sprang back again. All right, just like the book of Daniel talks about. All right, which this is all prophetic. That beast that was wounded came back into power, and you see that because all the so-called white race, right? They're in power right now with the spearhead being America, and then they have their other EU allies. And America is actually sprang out of the UK, out of Great Britain. So everything lines up according to the scriptures, and kind of springing back on the word Latinize. That's why everything that you see, everything as far as like the sciences, all right, there's some type of Latin name. All right, you learn Roman numerals. A lot of the Colosseums, they do the same practices that they were doing in ancient Rome. All right, they're doing here. And the so-called white race, the Edomites, they pride themselves of talking about the Greeks and the Romans. And there's a term, when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? And that's the same. That's the spirit that the so-called white man has. These all other nations, when they took us down, they still allowed us to keep our customs and worship our God. Now Esau, he doesn't want that, all right, and he's going to come down, and pretty much you have to worship him. He wants you to worship him because he believes that he's God. All right, so let me go right into the scripture. So when you go into the book of Maccabees, it starts talking about that wicked line. It talks about Alexander the Crete, all right, his father Philip of Macedon, and then goes into Antiochus. All right. So this is Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. All right, all the provinces and the lands that he took over. All right, because prior to that, you had Alexander the Great, which that's what we name Alexander the Great. He took over the whole known world at that time, right? Now, when they came back into power, they have to do the whole world. So it's those same spirits are coming back because everything is reincarnated. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Right? That all should be one people. This was the same spirit that, and I'm going to get it, the Tower of Babel. Everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So all the other nations, they agreed to drop their customs and pretty much take on the religion of the Greeks, of the Romans, okay, of the pretty much the so-called white man. And you see that today. You see that all these heathens come over, and I was just looking at some, right? They were coming over here, they have kids over here, they put on the so-called white man's clothing, You know, a lot of times they're women, you know, second generation for the most part. Like if they're they're Muslim or Arab. You know, they take off their burqas. They wear provocative clothing like the women here in America. They pretty much they deny their customs, their God, right, to follow and be American, to be Americanized, just like they were doing back in the ancient days during the time of the Maccabees, right? So all the heathen agreed to that, and you see that today. Moab does it, all right. Elam does it, and they look silly, man. They look silly because that's not how their customs, that's not how their people portray themselves. But they cast off their customs and they come and serve the spiritual demon Satan here through the spearhead of the so-called white man, their way of living. Which the other heathen nations, they worship devils, you know, but they're not as wicked as you Edomites or as you Americans, as you Europeans. Okay? So it says, and everyone shall leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. That's why when the chip comes, the heathen, they going to take the chip, man. All right? Because they're just going to do whatever. They were built up to be slaves. Either they're going to be slaves to righteousness, or the Israelites, or slaves to wickedness, the Edomites. Verse 43, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. Okay, so that religion is basically just going into a way of living, a way of life. All right, the women, they don't wear dresses, they don't cover their heads, they don't cover their bodies. They have so-called equal rights with men. They can have sex with multiple partners. Okay, the different clothing that you have on, all right, Edomite clothing. Okay, this English that you're speaking. Okay, the going to school. Okay, going into these school systems. Okay, participating in the gym. Those are all customs of the so-called white man, of the Edomites. Okay, and they were doing that during the time of the Greco-Roman Empire, and they're doing that now because this is pretty much the same Greco-Roman Empire. All right, it's just a modernized. Okay. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So as Israelites, all right, and during this time it was Judah, Benjamin, Levi. They were in that land. They were in the land of Jerusalem. All right. A lot of the Israelites consented, and they agreed with the way of living. They agreed to being agreed to being Edomite eyes, basically, Greek eyes, or a better word, Romanized. Okay, they agreed to be Romanized, which pretty much means you took on the customs of the Romans or of the Greeks or the word I want to get into is Latin, which pretty much is it's pretty much going to sum up what's going on here in America, which all the heathen nations have come over here and have been pretty much taken heed of the customs and the way of living, and our people have agreed to follow suit in a way of being American. Okay? And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and they should profane the Sabbath and the festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And this is the same things that are happening now. You go, our people go into these churches, okay, and they're pretty much worshiping neo-Christianity, okay, or slavery Christianity that the so-called white man has given you. That's their religion. They have given you this religion to where whatever it doesn't matter what I do, you have to love me. That love doctrine. And our people, they have taken those customs, and they have believed they're oppressors. They have believed they're captives. They're captors. Okay, and then they totally took off and left their customs, and they don't want to hear anything about them being an Israelite. Okay, verse 48, that they should leave their children uncircumcised, because we were given the covenant of circumcision. All right, if you had a male child on the 8th day, you were supposed to circumcise your child, and that was one of the covenants that the Lord gave to Abraham, and that was passed down to the patriarchs, okay, to the tribes, as a perpetual, eternal covenant with the Most High Himself. So the Most High, He looks down upon that, and you have Israelites that don't circumcise their children. And Esau gives them the allowance to do that. And he tells them, oh yeah, you don't need to circumcise your child, this and that, and this. He tells them all these things, and they get seduced by the wicked ways, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. Okay? So that's why the so-called white man wants you to do that. He wants you to forget the law of your fathers, forget Yahweh B'Shem Shai, so you can serve Him. And during this time, okay, our people didn't want to do that. So what did He do? I'm gonna read it. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, He said, he should die. So it's going to come to the point to where when the so-called white man, when he gives you this religion, which is his way of life, when he brings a chip, the mark of the beast, he's going to be in that same spirit of Antiochus, man. And you know what? Trump is in that spirit, man. That American first spirit. All right, we give you jobs. We allow you to be here. All right. You need to pretty much follow what we're giving you. We're in charge. All right, you're under us. So they're going to come with that chip, and those who do not take that chip, they're going to put a lot of them to death. All right, because the elites, they already want to, according to the Georgia Guidestones, they already want to pretty much exterminate 6.5 billion people off the planet Earth. All right, so that's the mind frame of these Edomites. It's either to do what they say, to follow their religion, to cast off your God. All right, we're not supposed to do that. Now I want to go up actually. And the verse, I'm gonna skip up, because you had a lot of our people that willingly took the customs of these heathens and cast it off their power. I'm gonna read it real quick, and then I'm gonna go into the definition of Latinize. So, let me come up here. This is Maccabees 1 and 10. And there came out of them a wicked root of Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king. Antiochus, or Antiochus, some say, who had been hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. And those days went there out of Israel wicked men. So there's always been wicked men, which is you 2/3 of you people, 2/3 of you Israelites. Okay, that willingly take heed of the laws of Babylon, not circumcising your children, not following the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, being homosexuals, chopping your rod off, being transgenders. Okay, allowing your woman to be over you, allowing your kids to be governed by the so-called white man, put them in these school systems. Okay, and you don't want to have anything to do with your heritage. Okay, in those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many. Right, and Esau, you see that Esau, he'll set a lot of jakes up to persuade many. That's what this entertainment industry is all about. That's what this athletic industry is all about. That's why Esau pays the so-called entertainers and people of lead positions. He pays them. He gives them all type of money to what? To deceive you and persuade you to cast off your laws. All right, that's part of Esau's Americanization. Okay, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have much sorrow. So they didn't want to be like Moses, which says that he rather suffer than to pretty much. Let me get it before I quote it the wrong way. Actually, I was reading it the other day. I'm gonna bring it out. Pretty much, he rather suffer than than to be in sin for a season, you know, than to live in sin. So let me bring that out. Which ultimately it's going to go into, our people don't have faith that the Lord is going to deliver them, and they don't have faith in the kingdom. They don't have that vision, like the Apostle Gabar says, that vision of going into the kingdom, how the Lord, he's going to take you away from your enemies, you know, and deliver you. Our people don't have that vision. And when you read Hebrews 11 chapter, the men of faith here, the men and women that the scriptures talk about, they have faith, they have vision that the Lord was going to give them that land, that the Lord was going to set them up. So this is Hebrews 11 and 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because he. All right, I'm gonna jump down to 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. So those wicked men, which those wicked men are back today. You see them in the form of your next door neighbor, the nigga on the block, these different entertainers, these different rappers and singers. Okay, those are the same men and women that the scriptures say that they were wicked and persuaded many to go astray. And because they were suffering sorrow, they couldn't handle that affliction. So they took the easy way out. So this device pleased them well. So you had men that went up to Esau and said, look, we want to cast up all our ways. Give us license to do so, man. Give us license to be a damn Greek, a Roman, American, a Babylonian. All right, forget Yahweh. Forget Yahweh Shai. At that time, it was just Yahweh. Forget our fathers. Forget everything in the scriptures. We're going to do whatever you want us to do because you know why? Because it's fun. We like being homosexuals. We like eating swine's flesh. All right, we want to be as a heathen. They're having fun. It says, then certain of the people were so forward herein, and that word forward means perverse and crooked. And the scriptures say, among my people are found wicked men. So there's very, very forward and perverse men of the nation of Israel. You know? That they went to the king who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. You see? So our people are willingly. You can't wake up 2/3 of these bonehead Israelites. All right, because they're very forward. They're very forward men and women. They don't want to have anything to do with the strictness, which really the law is very what's the word? It escapes me. There's a lot of liberty. The law has a lot of liberty, man. The law brings forth life. All right. Here it is, you're eating all these type of foods that the Most High said don't eat, and then you get sick and you die. And then those customs and that way of living is passed down to your children. Okay? It puts demons on you and make you sick. But our people, they willingly want to suffer the so-called white man. They willingly want to worship Satan. All right, so I got the definition of. Okay, yeah, that was. Hold on, give me a second. So I put in the word Latinize in the in the Google. All right. So this is the definition. Latinize. It says the first definition. There's two definitions. Give a Latin or Latinate form of a word. Which you see that in a lot of these sciences. You see that in the law, in the so-called Esau's law, his judicial system. A lot of those terms are Latinized terms. Okay, botany, the study of plants, the study of the muscle groups, and not biology, chemistry, okay, anatomy. These are all Latinized words. Okay. The second definition, like when you study animals, zoology. Okay. When you the animals that you know, like a tiger, or a bear, or an ant, those are English names, but the real name, according to the so-called white men, they have a Latin name. Right? They have a Latin name. Goes to show you that we are in the same time, that there's the same people that are ruling now are the same people that are ruling in the Greco-Roman Empire. Right? Just like the scriptures say. The second definition. It says, make a people or culture conform to the ideas and customs of the ancient Romans, the Latin peoples, or the Latin church. So that's what we're in. That's what you see today. Esau has forced our people to conform to their culture. Women over men, eating GMO foods, their dietary laws all out of whack. You can eat whatever you want, whatever your heart desires. You can worship any god. Okay. You can put tattoos on your body. You can make cuttings in the flesh. All right. If you want dyed hair, you can have dyed hair. All right. If you want to be called a man, you can be called a man. If you're a woman, you can be called a man. Okay. If you want to have sex and lay down with a man, you can do that. And Esau will give you license to do that. Right? So he made our people conform to that. At the same time, you got Israelites, our people, that willingly want to do that. They willingly want to become Edomites. Okay? So the word Latinize means pretty much to conform. Okay? And really the word, it's a compound word. You have Latin, the word Latin, which goes back into the language, all right, and pretty much the Roman peoples, because they were speaking Latin, okay, and eyes. So I went and got the definition of eyes, I-Z-E, which is a suffix that you put at an end of a word. So eyes and ization, okay. Pretty much the same. It's the same thing. So I got the definition of ization. Okay. Latinization. When you Latinize something, you Latinize a word, you're giving a word a Latin name. When you Babylonianize somebody, okay, you're making them conform into the ways of Babylon. which is perverse and wicked. So, ization in the online etymology dictionary. Word forming element making nouns of action. Okay? So, Babylon, Babylonianization. You're making the noun of a Babylonianite, so to speak, do the things that you would do in Babylon. As the saying goes, as in Rome, do as the Romans. And that pretty much meant you were a homosexual. All right. Okay. It says, word forming element making nouns of action, process, or state. See, ization. So, or state, you're making somebody be in a state of Americanization. And you see that with the other nations, they come over here and they get Americanized. They get conformed, and pretty much you get ostracized from society if you don't. You got to get a bank account. You got to start dealing with digital currencies. You have to get a car. All right. You have to go to the grocery store and buy food. You have to put your kids in school. Okay, and get taught by the so-called white man. Okay. You have to get insurance. You have to rent. You have to rent a house or buy the estate. You can't even own the land. All right. You got to, when you get sick, you got to go to his doctor. All right. He said, nah, the herbs, you can't. The herbs don't do anything. I want you to have my medicine. Right. By you conforming to that, you're being Babylonianized. You're being Americanized. And those are the ways of the wicked. You know what? Let me get another scripture that just came to my mind. Because the Greeks and the Romans were doing the same exact thing that you Americans are doing, that you Europeans are doing, because you're the same people. All right. At the same time, we're as Israelites, we are not supposed to follow the customs of the so-called white man, because his ways are deaf. He casts off all the laws of the Lord, and he gives you his law. He gives you his religion. All right. He gives you Christianity. He gives you Islam. He lets you worship yourself. He lets you worship these different gods. All right. He says that no, a woman is equal with you. Okay. Your kids are not even your kids. They're given into the state, because they're given into this government, into the state. They're property of the U.S. government. This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So as you see, our people as a whole are destroyed. The scriptures say, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I shall also reject thee. So the knowledge of the scriptures, the knowledge of the law, statutes, and commandments, that gives you life. And that was supposed to be a testament to all the heathen nations around us, to say that we have a holy God and we're a holy people. All right. And because the Lord, he separated us from all these other nations. We weren't supposed to adhere and conform to the way of their religions, to the way of their God, the way of their living. Right. To take their prescription drugs. Okay. To allow our kids to get inoculated with these different drugs that mess up their mind, to eat different abominable foods, to worship other gods. All right, the Lord said, arise ye and depart. And you see that our people have been destroyed. All right, they're in all type of gangs. Okay. They're in these different schools, shaving their head bald. All right. Trying to be a so-called white man, put on the suit and tie, go into his industries. Okay. And wholeheartedly, all right, like it says in the book of Maccabees, all right, persuade our people to follow their way. Oh, you got to go to school, like the black woman, or these women, this Israelite women. Or you got to make sure you got to go to school. You gotta occur tens of thousands of dollars in debt. All right, so you can look like you're successful. All right, you gotta buy an expensive car. You gotta be materialistic. You gotta feed into the way of living. You gotta be into sports and spend all your money on these different pleasures. Okay, you gotta be into wicked music. Okay, and anything righteous is shunned. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So you following the ways of America, which is Babylon, you being Americanized or Babylonianized, it's going to destroy you, because this world is polluted. Everything in this world is polluted. The air is polluted. The way the government is polluted. The school system is polluted. Okay, your body is polluted because you're putting all these chemicals and toxins into your bodies, these shampoos, these deodorants. All right, Esau has casted off everything that was natural, and he has given you his way of living, his artificial way of living. All right, where you got to live house to house. All right, you have no control over your daughter. Your daughter can just be a slut and a whore, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or you can't put that bitch to death. Your son could be a homosexual. You can't put that nigga to death. All right, so then he tells you that if you have those thoughts, that you're wicked. Right? That's why the scriptures say, woe to them that call evil good and good evil. Woe to the so-called white man. Woe to Babylon. Because Babylon is going to be destroyed because they have said that everything in the scriptures, okay, is incorrect. That's not the way of living. All right? That my way is living. All right? My politics is living. My laws are living. All right? You got to live in an apartment complex with all type of carcinogens that destroy you. All right? From the paint, the carpet, your sofa, your couch, your TV emitting cancer-like rays. Or you got to have a cell phone, which causes cancer. Okay, everything in this society is polluted. Or you got to walk on cement. That's polluted. So the Lord is saying, come out of her. All right, right now we can't physically come out of her. All right, that's going to be when that last trump and the Lord is sounded. And the Lord's actually going to say, come out of her. All right, and elect are going to get beamed up. Right now we have to not conform to the ways to the best of our abilities, things that we can do. All right, and with that you're going to catch great persecutions. That's why during the time of the Maccabees, you had our people go to the so-called white man and persuade many to follow their ways, because they start catching hell if they did it, man. Because Satan runs this society. All right, so you're not going to be rewarded unless you serve Satan. Okay, bottom line, that's how things go. So we're in a kingdom. That's controlled by the spirits of demon Satan, and the way that he controls physically is through his people. It's through his children. All right, the so-called white man, his policies, his democracy. All right. He allows women to be in porn, destroy their bodies, and he gives them right back to you, man. And he says you gotta love that, you gotta cherish her. All right, you got the Me Too movement. Women are coming out saying they're sexually abused. Well, for one thing, Esau gave you the liberty to be a whore, to be a slut, and then now all of a sudden, when you get treated like a whore and a slut, all right, that's a crime. All right, and then at the end of it, he wants to put a chip on you, man. He has his AI programs. All right, he has his humanoid programs. All right, he wants to cut into you and put electronics in you. When that's all going to destroy you. That's why the Lord said, come out of her, my people. Now 2/3 are not going to come out of this place called Babylon, because they've been totally Babylonianized. They have totally conformed to the ways of the devil. Okay? But this is all going to be soon destroyed. All right? And 2/3 of you niggas, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners, you're going to be destroyed also. Okay? So I might have had one or two more scripture, but I'm gonna end the lesson pretty much, going into that word Latinized, which is Babylonianized, which is Romanized, right? The ways of pretty much you are conforming to the religion of Babylon. You conforming to that like the scriptures say that wine, which is the philosophies, that witchcraft. All right, Esau has fooled many people through his wine and his wine through his witchcraft. All right. You know what? This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence in a house and take them away and oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So our people have been oppressed. So they want a sigh of relief. So they go on and they adhere to the customs of the so-called white man. All right, and they don't want to hear any. They'll shave the head bald. They'll edge it up. They'll cut their beard off. They'll take off their ancient garments. They'll stop following the law, statutes, commandments. Right. So they won't catch any hell anymore, man. Which they're going to catch even more and more, and they're catching hell right now. Their health is waned. All right, they're destroyed. Their family system is destroyed. All right, the woman is over the man, telling him what to do. Well, that causes confusion and strife. Now the kids grow up and they see that, and then they have no respect for the man, the head figure of the house. All right, which the man is out of the house. All right, he's either a homosexual or he getting kicked out. All right, a lot of these women, to get back at the man, they kill the children. They put pure hell on the children, and then that children grows up hating the mother and hating the father because the father wasn't there. When this all goes back to the so-called white man, but this is the way that America teaches you how to live. This is it. This is the great America. All right, man, this place is gonna get fucking destroyed, man, soon, very soon. All right, the Most High, he gonna shoot missiles on this place. All right, he gonna destroy this goddamn place, man. All you niggas in it, all you 2/3 Israelites in it, and you damn Edomites, man. Because this enough is enough. The scriptures say, right in in Revelation the 18th chapter, that her sins have reached unto heaven, man. All right, every facet of life here in America is wicked. For the goddamn shoes you put on your feet are wicked. For the cement that you walk upon, from the air that you breathe, okay? For the water that you drink, it's polluted and wicked, man. And the Lord, he gonna make this place a memorial, a perpetual desert, all right? With you goddamn devils in it, man. So with that, I want to say all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honor to my apostles and elders, and peace, blessings to you, Akim, out there pushing this word. Shalom.